Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm Will Dragon, and we are once again looking at All Quiet in the Trenches, the beautiful story game that we just love. We are ready to start a new game, and this time it is time to start on hard mode. We are going to go single save game only. It makes me happier, to be honest. Lowers the initial morale and fitness of the soldiers, increases their exhaustion and stress. That'll be fun. Reduce the capacity of field hospital, the supplies of the quartermaster, and in the village. Ammunition and equipment supplies, and increases the rate at which rations are consumed. Reduces your standing with superiors. Suffer more severe wounds, bleed out faster, and have a higher chance of having to go into battle after the trench phase. And incompatible ammunition. You wanna know, I was going to attempt to do this run as, of course, a good old-fashioned no-death run. I'm going to be surprised if we even make it through it. I don't know if that's what hard mode used to be, and now you can just read the options. But that's brutal! I mean, I don't know if those were all in fact, or whether they've increased hard mode whilst they've given you the extra options, but... No wonder I haven't done a deathless hardcore mode if that's what it used to be. I think that's one I'm definitely going to quickly pop into Discord and ask the devs. Alright, let's see who we start with. I believe I saw a hunt on the way in. I wasn't paying any attention. I could hardly... Let's start at the beginning. I could still hardly believe that a few days ago, back home, I had been appointed Unteroffizier in charge of this handful of men. And here they were, sneaking through the trenches behind me. Not 100 meters from the enemy positions, with heavy packs and dwindling strength. Carmenk, usually my Achilles heel, but he's a great soldier. Peter Linnick, great guy, always wants to get stuck in. Kammerbunt, less said about him the better. And Reinhard Hunt. We actually started with all four of these. Wow, I had all four of these in my 6 last time. I can't remember which order they came in. Exhausted, we finally found the dugout of Lieutenant von Karsbuck, to whom we had been assigned, and I immediately gave the man a hug, because he looked like he needed one. There you are, Herr Unteroffizier, he greeted me. You seem to have taken your time. Surely you're fit enough to start work straight away. Lieutenant's condescending gaze swept over my men, and then rested it praisingly on me. Yes, Herr Lieutenant. Some of my men looked worried, but Lieutenant von Karsbuck nodded in satisfaction. My adjutant will show you your sleeping quarters, afterwards report to me for today's duties. But the eyes of my soldiers on my back. Obviously, some of the men resented my lack of concern for their needs. With so much as another glance at me, Lieutenant von Karsbuck turned back to the documents on his table. Welcome to the trenches, Herr Unteroffizier. So I wonder, because we're at the beginning of 1915, I wonder as the game progresses, because obviously we get to the beginning of 1916, whether we'll start to see more complex trenches. Because obviously for pretty much the whole of 16 and 17, where there was almost no movement in the trenches whatsoever, especially on the German side, they dug in real well, ladies and gentlemen. We have almost no food. Yep, that's not a surprise. We have night watch. And then he suggests we go to get some rations. Okay, night watch. Nothing really going. We'll just simply stick you two on, and for rations, we'll stick you two. Let's hit next turn. I'm hoping, yes, full rations, still have full ammunition. Bunt is down to being strained. Let's see if in this glorious playthrough... Oh, wow, he's actually feeble. My hope was to... get rid of whatever the version of feeble, the second down version of feeble was. Never mind getting rid of feeble. Another communication trench collapsed. Gather your shovels and men. Alright, let's go to the dugout. Sorry, lads. I have you, and you. A few hours ago, the roar of artillery had begun. At first, it was as quiet as the rumble of thunder in the distance. Recently, it had become steadily louder and more threatening. Suddenly, there was a thud, and not 10 meters from the hiding spot where my men were huddled, an artillery shell shredded the dugout of our neighboring troop. Pieces of wood and metal flew for meters, and smoke obscured the view. The noise was deafening for a few seconds, and then died away as quickly as it had come. An almost eerie, silent gasp of shock passed, and then my men and I jumped up. Pushed aside broken beams and searched for our buried comrades. We found two for whom all help came too late. A third, however, we could still hear panting. He was lying with his upper body trapped under the fallen beams. His face was distorted with pain and he was barely conscious. My men stood around him forlorn and looked over to me for help. Kammerbunt said pleadingly, "Herr Unterofficer, we must try to help him." Together we lifted the beam from his chest and only now saw the full extent of the damage. His chest looked crushed and his hip strangely twisted. A long splinter protruded from his abdomen and his shirt was soaked in blood. Menk shook his head. He's beyond help and mercy killing will save us both time. I know we don't have anybody with any decent stats to save this guy. We don't have anybody that is quick. We don't have anybody that is strong. And we don't have Fram with his first aid, so we are not going to make it. I will do it myself. I drew my pistol, which I had received only a few days before. Cold and alien, it lay in my hand. Once more I exhaled, as we had practiced on the parade ground back home. Then, with a single shot, I ended the young soldier's life. Even now, as I write this, the blood curdles in my veins, and I feel as if I can still hear the shot and the silence afterwards. He is determined, but the rest... Oh, they're all actually shaken. Interesting how they all get shaken. They're all in a bad mood. Skirmish has been added. And he is now contemptuous with me. That's never a good thing. Instruct one of your men to carry a message. Alright, alright, alright. Go for Menk. Definitely not going to become a bunt because he is slow and tired. Oh, we got something else. Oh, yes, there's a hole in the trench. That's nice. We don't care about that hole. Not in this time round. What do we got? Anything amiss? Ah, right, we're holed up in the bunker. We need to fetch, and now we need to fetch ammunition. Come on now. We're under heavy artillery fire. Let's take on return. The French are coming. For the past day, my men and I have been sitting tightly packed in our bunker while the French artillery rained down salvo after salvo of death and destruction on us. And I flipped to the other side. During the hard work of our first days in the trenches, I had hardly found a quiet minute to have a personal conversation with my men. So now they were sitting next to me, tense and still mostly strangers, and I fervently hoped that they would survive the shelling unscathed. The silence between us was in sharp contrast to the constant droning outside. When, after a few hours, the sudden firing suddenly stopped, a sigh of relief went through the ranks of some of the young soldiers. However, that was the moment when the veterans of the other troops tensed up and began to load their rifles. Stay together, people. I shouted to my soldiers and led them to our positions in the trenches. Time to go pick a fight. Now we should be able to get through this one without too much trouble. Naturally, we're going to get artillery shelled right at the end. It's actually programmed into the fight. But we shall at least try and gather as much ammunition as possible. And we do have two guys with good vision. So that is going to be very, very useful. Because, yeah, if we can overpack ourselves with ammunition, at least we should get some extra reputation. Somebody's just been shot already. We may soon have to retreat. We have to collect ammunition. That guy was dancing something fierce. And, like I said, yeah, oh, look, he's down. That's a bit of a rough start. The fight hadn't even started. Okay, let's have you two look around. Let's have you two fire on sight. It's the next turn. Come and get some! And run away. Oh, an ally behind me, I think. They're down to 5 now, yep. Oh no, someone went down. Didn't find any ammunition, but you found some bandages. You were able to find some ammunition. Right, let's get out of here. Run, run, run. Come on, Hunt, don't get left behind. Somebody help him. Don't all just stand there looking silly. Oh, good, good, good. You're helping him, you're helping him. I like it. Could have helped him last turn. He could have been patched up by now. sight, lads. Fire on sight. Oh! Somebody got hit somewhere. I don't know whether it was one of mine or one of theirs. There's a grenade and some ammunition. How are we looking? These guys are about to charge in. Gonna run across this way. I've never actually come this way before. I usually come down here and then come make a big horseshoe U-turn. Never actually come down into here before. I don't think this was actually a good choice. Looks like I'm gonna have to run a long way to make almost no distance. Heads down, artillery. French are over there. They are over there. Where are they? Just over there. Puts on his bayonet, runs away. Takes off his bayonet. I can only assume anyway. I'm gonna suspect he's gonna take off his bayonet. Oh! Great grenade from the French. Although it didn't look like it did any damage, which is good. It just, Right, we'll use Linux. Let's get Hunt to take a break. Somebody got shot. I don't know if it was one of my guys that did the shooting. Grenades are flying back and forth. These guys are boogieing on out of here. No, he didn't go down. He's just doing like breakdancing, you know, whilst he fires. I mean, I would certainly find that harder to hit someone if they were breakdancing. I mean, you know, static target's one thing, but someone who's breakdancing, like, sheesh, out of here. We are falling back. We should provide cover so our comrades can retreat. Didn't find any ammunition, but you found some bandages. Not the, definitely not the best route to come. Okay, let's come back around here. That's low danger, but it just means me running back around that way. I'm gonna come to here. And run, run, run. Just back behind here is might be where we get hit by our artillery. Let's have a look. Is one of them... If I get an exclamation mark for no reason... Yep, someone's about to go down, I think. That should be enough, right? Damn artillery, there it is. First aid for Hunt. That would be you. Fire on sight. Would be you and you. Keep the French away. We, need to patch him up and get ourselves out of here. This is a great firing position, to be fair. You couldn't really have asked for much more. How are we doing? His bleeding is almost stopped. Okay, so I have to stay for another turn anyway. So, yeah, you take cover anyway. Next turn. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, so I may as well just... He wants to be insubordinate and take cover, then... Hey, take cover. Calm yourself down. We'll move you next turn. Don't you dare grenade me! That looked very painful. That looked really, really painful. Oh, wow! And then artillery right on top of them as well. That's just rude. Way too dangerous. I was able to stop Hunt's bleeding. The wound hurts so much. Command obedience. But is he good? He's at least... He's back in the game. I'm talking about being back in the game. Run. Run like crazy. These guys should now hobble after me. Like I said, I've never come this way before. I feel really far away from everything. If I go to there, I'm actually being flanked, which is quite funny. Okay, let's run to here. Oh, this isn't the creek. That's the creek. There are two creeks. It's all a lie. Oh, wait. What? Who? Why? When? Why is he with me? I haven't been paying attention. Have I picked someone up or is... Where's Hunt? There's Hunt. Why have they left Hunt behind? Why has Hunt just been exploded by artillery? The artillery, I almost got hit. Why did you... Linux, you had orders to escort Hunt. Is he about to run off? I'm not going to be able to escort him now because he's going to keep retreating. No, let's not worry about getting him into cover. Let's just run after him. All right, well, this will count as a retreat. Get away from here, you damn artillery. Probably my artillery as well. Yeah, we're not escorting him back. We are kind of providing a bit of an honor guard, but we're not actually getting the choice to escort him back. He's off. He's gone. But he's not as stressed as he once was. That's good. Okay, and here we are back at the trench phase. Did we get enough ammunition? I'm not entirely convinced, to be honest, but we'll find out. I hope so, because we really need a bit of a boost on that reputation. The explosions, gunshots, and screams still echoed in my ears. We had only been fighting for a few minutes, and yet it felt as if years had passed since this morning. And the everyday life back home, a lifetime away. To be in the camp now, safely behind the front, was surreal. The light-hearted chirping of the birds almost drowned out the dog rumble of the front and the cries of pain from the field hospital where we had taken Hunt. My people lay down exhausted on the grass, surrounded by boxes of ammunition and equipment we had saved. Dirty and bloodied, some still pale and trembling. But soon the angry voice of the lieutenant in the distance abruptly broke the supposed peace, even before we could see him coming towards us and missed the tents. My people, most of them were still sitting or lying on the ground, but seeing the ample supply of ammunition seemed to appease him. Good job, Herr Underofficer, he forced out against his visibly blazing anger. Not that it was a difficult task, but apparently with this bunch of slops you have to be happy if anyone shows even a modicum of competency. Our troops were in the best position to counterattack, but no, the reserve was too cowardly to take advantage of this unique opportunity we had prepared for them. The lieutenant rumbled without prompting. Now the Herr Major accuses me, us, of having abandoned the trench line unnecessarily. A disgrace. Henceforth, we will hold the line come what may. Yes, Herr Lieutenant. Set up camp. Sooner or later, we'll get our chance to pay back the French. Okay. Good recovery. High prestige added. I like that. I organized a full small field hospital. Agree. Leave. Have a lovely day. Let's, quite frankly... Oh, we have to come to you first. It's such a pointless order of conversations. Leave. He basically has to tell me to come here. Thanks. Supply troops. Allocate supplies to your group immediately. They should last you until the next supply shipment. Then we have to go back to Zelensky. Live in field intent. What size rations? Given the state of our supplies, we're already with low food supplies. Wow. That's rough. It's very rough. You know, I kind of wish sometimes getting to know them would actually have a benefit, but fortunately it really doesn't. Grant reward. Bigger rations. Well, that's kind of you. Have some bigger rations for being insubordinate. Right, and yes, we don't actually have any jobs, which is really nice. Let's have all 3 people set up camp. Let's see if we can get Cummerbund down to, I think it's faltering. Sunday service usually lifted the spirits in camp, especially among the more religious of the men. Accordingly, I was relieved when a military chaplain finally came by. Many of the soldiers rushed to the opportunity to listen to his sermons. The concerns of soldiers after taking care of the wounded and burying the dead. 1,600 soldiers, the few and initially even unpaid rabbis even more. As usual, Cummerbund was the first among the pious congregating at the service. Still, as their small procession passed me by, he took the time for a brief chat to me. You know, Herr Unteroffizier, I think I could lead a sermon too. Before I came here, I studied theology after all, and we would no longer have to wait for another man to undertake the arduous journey. Sure, let's go for it. Hopefully we get... I wonder how my religion across the troop generally fares. We have... Note sheet? Yeah, so he's Catholic, of course. I don't know why I even checked his. He's Protestant. Linux is Protestant. We've just gone and gotten Mail, who is Catholic. He is also a very good character. And he is Protestant. Okay. You look like the man who knows where to find a decent beer around here. Oh, and you look like the Unteroffizier I'm supposed to report to. Apologies, Florian Mail is my name. Ooh, down to faltering already. Obedience. Moved, low supply stock added. Changed down to simply a bad mood. Standard reply. Changed to double rations. Respectful. Nice. I like it. He's down to just faltering. That's a good improvement. And he is strained. Which once again, it's, I don't know. Maybe you could, I don't know, maybe you could argue they've come from another troop, but the whole turning up and being tired is, I don't know, annoying. Well, we have set up camp, however. Ask for food. If you're in urgent need, we can share with you. Or collect food from the villagers with you. We'll definitely be picking up some food. Supply is still running low. These villagers are suspect. Organize a patrol. Food supply increases. Villagers will disapprove. It's only a one-man job. Wow, our people are a mess. Tolerant is these 2. We are risking a collapse. He gets the joy of resting up again. Some people are going to start to think he's my favorite. He's not. It's just, you know, he's also graced by God, so... Every time I saw Menk, I almost didn't trust my own eyes. I could not help but wonder if that boy was old enough to be drafted. He was short, his shoulders narrow, and there was not a hint of peach fuzz on his cheeks, let alone a beard. Well, the young man would have his own uses. Stick to mechanical functionality. You're absolutely right. Proud and even with a hint of relief before quickly scampering away. And what happened? Okay, nobody... Ooh, we've got Fram. Trained in first aid. He is, of course... We now have 2 slow characters and 2 faltering characters. That is not great. We've got 3 attentive, however. I think this now puts us on... No, 2 dexterous. I thought we had 3 dexterous there for a moment. Well, I'll be. Excuse me, I've had a lot of practice with these military rank insignia. I was placed under your order. Fram, my name. Elmar Fram. Low food supplies removed. I like it. He's gone down from while arrested to strained. He is now respectful straight away. I like that too. Standard rations added. He is now exhausted. He has gone from camaraderie to neutral. Really? Whatever did I do to you? He is relieved and he is down on standard rations. Of course the latrine's full. Why do you tell me these things? Major ordered the start of the offensive this morning. Fortunately, we won't get a chance to win fame and honor just yet. Unit is tasked with guard duty. Appoint someone to guard the camp, and we have latrine duty. Ah, yes. Requested help. Thank you for taking the time, Herr Unteroffizier. Sister Elizabeth seemed tense, even though the field hospital did not seem too crowded at the moment. Please follow me, she motioned, and led me past the hospital towards a barren patch of land with a series of shallow ditches dug in a line. Graves. I heard there's a new offensive coming. Elizabeth paused and turned towards me with dire seriousness in her eyes and pointed towards the graves. Well, we're going to need a lot more of those. Do you think you could spare some of your men to dig more of them? I'll see what we can do. Thank you, Herr Unteroffizier. That's all I ask. I know you're in a difficult position, and I don't mean to make it any harder on you. Right, well, most of our guys are still very buggered, so we're not going to be digging any graves, I can tell you that. I mean, look at that across the board, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at that. What we are going to do, we're going to pop over here. Don't tell me there's rats. Definitely double rations. We managed to get a nice bit of food. And gonna risk you two. I'm gonna risk you. I want you two to eat up. And hopefully Ram. Give one of them a bigger ration. I'm hoping with that maybe we can get rid of faltering. That's what we're trying to do. Hopefully we get Hunt back with us soon as well. I mean, he's on a good recovery. Lennon could be getting drunk all evening with some of his comrades. It was already late when all of a sudden he bellowed into the crowd. So, bollocks! How much longer is supposed to croak here in the mud for this bloody war? Don't ask about the accent, folks. I don't know. The soldiers around him fell silent. Some looked over at me. My job to be there for him. I got up, sat down next to him and said, Soldier, you mustn't lose heart. We need you here just as much as any of your comrades. Sleep it off, and tomorrow the world will already look brighter again. You're right, he mumbled, and staggered into his tent. After a while, the other soldiers resumed their conversations, and soon they too retreated to their tents. Do we have a collapse? Oh, I don't know. Madame LaRoche. You know what? The speaker of the nearby French village greeted me with some reservation and quickly cut to the chase of why she'd come to meet me. Your cannons have been thundering day and night and the villagers are scared, she explained. Especially the younger children are suffering. It was only in that moment that it occurred to me that our artillery truly had been firing almost non-stop for some time now. Of course, the distant, if constant grumbling paled in comparison to the actual impacts we faced on the battlefield, and I had long learned to put the noise out of my mind. Or perhaps my hearing had just gotten that bad. Do you perhaps know how long this will continue? Do you know what? I'm gonna tell her for once. We recently launched an offensive. I understand, she sighed and hung her head. Thank you for letting me know, monsieur. At least now we know what to expect. We remained in silence for a few moments, but something was clearly weighing on her. Is there anything else I can do for you? I almost forced a tired smile. No, thank you. We'll get by on our own. After that, she said her goodbyes and turned away. Did lose a little bit of prestige because of that, but not too much. Double rations, fairly compassionate added, strange removed. Love it. Nauseated, of course. Ah, there's rats. Bad weather, bad weather. Bad weather. Bad mood has been removed. That's crept up. Changed to very bad recovery and now feverish. I feel like he should have been back in our party by now, if I'm perfectly honest. Hunter's developed a severe fever. Got nobody even in your hospital. Stop being lazy. Oh, interesting. Fran doesn't get a bonus helping with fever. I mean, he's one of the great options anyway, so he's definitely going to be the one I choose. But I feel like that's also missing. Let's hope it won't take too long. That need prisoners of war that need guarding. Oh, we also have more. We have more. We have more. We have more. There's a pub in the village, Herr Officer. Commandant and I would like to visit with your permission. Rats everywhere. Our supplies are running low. Of course there's going to be rats because we managed to actually get some supplies. And of course we have a trip to the pub available, which we actually have 0 soldiers available for. Not a one. And our soldiers are near enough exhausted across the board. Apparently not a tiring job. However, this is a tiring job. The fact that he's slow should make also give him a negative effect for this job. Quick and slow should affect rat catching. It does in the trenches phase, but I just don't think they've added it to the camp phase yet. Well, no pub visit anyway. Supposed to receive an exceptionally large Liebesgabe today. Secretly keep the package for my own supply. I think I can deal with morale a little bit better than I can deal with food on hardcore. Mail, one of my men, had made no secret of his previous work as a master brewer since he joined our troop. He often seemed to be thinking about his family and their brewery at home. He told everyone, whether they wanted to hear it or not, about his plans after the war. It seemed to be my turn today, and he'd been chattering away for a while now. I let him talk. Probably helped him and took his mind off things. No harm in holding on to the life that he would soon be able to return to. His normal life, I thought to myself. Sorry, the hope that he would be able to return. When some of his comrades joined the conversation, I took my leave and returned to my own tasks. Combat came hurrying towards me, clearly upset with a bloodstained uniform. Under officer, have you seen the sorry state of the field hospital? He asked, visibly aghast. I just helped carry one of the wounded who couldn't make it on his own to the field hospital. The injured are everywhere, and the beds are overflowing already. The nurses just told me to drop him off wherever, that they had no time to tend to him anyway. I know with the intense fighting the last few days that a lot of injured were passing through our camp, but to think that the state of the field hospital had already gotten so bad. I will look into it. The last thing the people at the field hospital need right now is more chaos and disorganized helpers getting in their way. How are we doing? Has he still got fever? You damn right he's still got fever. And he's now seriously wounded. Alright. I think we're about to lose Hunt already. He got tired. That's not a tiring job, looking after someone with fever. Taken removed. Rejected added. Upset added. Disappointed added. Pub visit removed because they didn't get to go to pub visit. Bad mood added. Change down to standard rations. And change down to exhausted. What do we got? What do we got? Come on, did we get rid of the rats? We've gotten rid of the rats. Very nice, very nice. You got me some more food? Resupply came in. Order to expand the rear trenches. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Why would that be a troubling thing? Double ration. Treat fever. I really can't help out in the field hospital, but I really, really need to. I mean... Morty losing. Is this guy Catholic? He is Catholic. Okay, he will get belonging. He's grateful. He'll get belonging. As of course will, although he might be... No, he's already grateful. And... wasn't you. It must have been male. Yeah, he will also get belonging, which is good. Which is good. We could do with some more boost our morale, so I kind of have to keep him doing that. However, digging these trenches is a very collapsible style of job. And it's not a tiring job. Give that to you. And you guys are going to be on trench duty. And let us... Of course, setting up church service. What's up, my friend? Nick. Is grateful. I also want to cram. No, in fact, let's give it to Come on, bud. We're only going to give it to 2. Oh, resentful added. That's a bit rude. See if we can get rid of faltering. Because that would be absolutely fantastic. So let's hit next turn. And let's see if I've got any paperwork to do. For days now, Curran had been sitting next to his comrades every evening without a word and with a vacant stare. He neither discussed with them, nor did he take part in usual evening entertainment such as playing cards. Tasks assigned to him were also carried out in a dull and listless manner. I spoke to him about it. Bring up his scorecard. In an undisturbed moment, I sat down next to him and addressed him. Is everything all right with you, Cummerbund? He looked up at me from his empty eyes, and he sighed and replied. Herr Unteroffizier, what is it all for? What's the point of us being here? He is somewhat patriotic. He also saw fairly sociable and very compassionate, so I'm going to go for your comrades need you. Try to be strong for them. He straightened his shoulders. Maybe you're right, and I shouldn't let myself go like this. After all, we're all in this mess together, and hopefully we'll also manage to come out of it together. We sat together in silence for a few more moments, then Cummerbund got up and wished me a good night. The following days he seemed a little less withdrawn. Maybe my words had helped him a bit, or maybe it had just been a matter of time. Ooh. I was writing reports when the sound of the busy activity of our camp gradually died down around me. Instead, I heard quiet, serious voices. When I left the tent to see what had happened, the men stood together, crestfallen. Linux was in their midst, visibly fighting tears. He looked up at me and tried to compose himself. I openly mourned the loss of our glorious comrade Hunt. Morale demoralized. Well, really? I joined Linux and the other men in their grief. I primarily wanted to be there for my remaining soldiers, especially at this moment. Their fellowship and comfort undoubtedly carried me through this difficult time as well. Hunt may no longer be with us, but his absence would only bring us closer together. Oh wow, Menk is now contemptuous. That's nice of him. Relieved has been removed. Bad weather has also been removed, which is quite nice. Fairly compassionate has been removed. Grief has been added. Becomes more jaded, and it is depressing. Tide of war has been added. Faltering has been removed. Not who I was aiming for it on, but I'll take it. Down to strained. Tide of war. Belonging added. Okay, so male, who is one of them, and no, sorry, Linux, I believe, was one of them. No, he's positive. I'm lying. It was male. And Fram, who are also Catholic, both should have also gotten belonging, but they have not. Went down to neutral. Contemptuous went up to camaraderie. Nice. Idle. The tree is filled to the brim. Really? Didn't take very long. Going to battle soon. About time. Hope you kept your people ready as ordered. Yeah, sure. Why not? They're raring to go. Fram, that'll be you. No longer faltering. That's what we like to see. Walk bigger rations, and let's find a... Wow, a Linux. You're not very happy, are you? He's gone from respectful to contemptuous when I gave him bigger rations. Odd. Very odd. Did he go to contemptuous? No, sorry, I didn't grant him bigger rations, did I? I granted someone else bigger rations. Very cautious, very distant, fairly unpatriotic. What a guy. What a guy. We could do with emptying the field hospital, but I have so few people, and they are so tired. Hunt's death affected us all. Currenbutt was wandering around outside late at night, still in a state of bewilderment. I ordered him to go to his tent, and he looked at me helplessly. How can God want these things? He asked. The Lord works in mysterious ways, I rattled off, trying to reassure him. But he still frowned doubtfully. Faith that is denied the door returns as superstition. If the gods are here no more, that's the ghost's admission, he muttered. He doesn't need to give him something to hold on to. Gently I put a hand on his soldier. Calm yourself. God has sent you to us to lead the men. And of course, he is not making it easy for you. That's how he is. At that, Cummerbund actually laughed briefly, then he coughed and seemed to resume his old role. He You are right, he said calmly. I'd better get back to my tent. Tomorrow the men will need me again. We were preparing for the imminent operation a few days from now. The mood was tense, but it seemed to weigh particularly hard on Fram. Everything all right? He looked up and made an attempt at concealing his emotions before finally sighing deeply and opening up a little. To be honest, no, Herr Unteroffizier. The thought of going to battle and possibly never returning? He gulped and lowered his gaze. I nodded. Every soldier knew this fear. He's unpatriotic, so German soldier. But he's distant as well. He's very distant, so together we'll come through this. I don't think it will work either. There's no way around this battle. Even if there was, another will follow. The fear will stay. I know, I just wish things were different. With those words, he turned away and left. Oh, that didn't seem to go too well. When I met Elmer Fram, I was relieved. According to his files, he could also have been a doctor in the military hospital, and I expected corresponding frustration and disapproval for him. But he seemed relaxed and composed about his appointment. But those few months, he shrugged his shoulders. Few months. He looked even prouder stance than before and nodded. In a few months, there will be an annual conference of the Wednesday Psychological Society, which I am a member in Vienna. They will be expecting me at that date. All the distinguished experts will be there. Well, we'll do our best here, I said encouragingly. He nodded with satisfaction. I commend myself, he said, grasping his cap as if it were a top hat. Probably belonged more at a Viennese society ball than here. Men, tomorrow we march to battle. Fear of what might come was clearly palpable, but most of them did their best to cover it up. With their heads held high, their chests puff up with pride. The goal of our mission is to conquer and hold the next trench line. So far, there was no different to most attacks. But we have an ace up our sleeve. Our artillery is in position, just waiting to cut off reinforcements from the enemy. I expect you to use this advantage aggressively and decisively. Do not disappoint me. Chime in. No need to risk. Ooh, we're up to an average mood. He is now optimistic. He is now tired of war. That's not great. And he's also nauseated. Nauseated then was removed. Down strained. Down to tired for 3 of them. And bad mood was removed. We are just in a level of neutral mood. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the end of the first episode. Are we going to be going for a deathless run? Well, no, because Hunt's already dead. So, quite frankly, it's just not going to happen. And so on that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you will continue to join us to see if we can even finish this playthrough. And so until next time, as per always, I hope that you stay safe, happy, and healthy.